One thing I see a lot of, mostly in the hospital setting, is purple pushing. As a childbirth educator and a birth doula, I want you to be as prepared and informed as possible so that you can have the most empowering birth experience. So in this video, we are talking all about purple pushing. I'm Bridget, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos that come your way. Now, before we jump into purple pushing, there are some things that you should know. There are a few stages of labor. The first stage of labor is when the cervix is opening and thinning out, and the second stage is when mom is pushing her baby out. In the first stage, there are multiple phases that we don't have time to dive into in this video, but we do go in depth about all of that in the Built to Birth course that you can check out in the description below or up in the corner of this video. When it comes to the second stage of labor and mom is pushing her baby out, the body is very wise. It is designed with birth in mind. If birth is left undisturbed, the fetal ejection reflex usually kicks in and the body on its own, without mom's power behind it, pushes baby out of the birth canal. You can learn more about this in this video linked up here. Now, when birth is intervened in, like with a vaginal exam, whether mom consents to it or not, it can result in pushing before mom is truly in that second stage of labor. Let me explain. So in order for baby to come out of the uterus, the cervix has to be completely open and fully thinned out. When that happens, mom is considered complete. But here's the catch. Just because baby can now physically fit through to come out of the uterus and cervix doesn't mean that they are ready to. Baby could still be high in the pelvis and needs to come down more with the help of more contractions first to allow the fetal ejection reflex to kick in before mom is truly ready to start pushing. When a vaginal exam is done, often providers will want mom to start pushing if they find that she is complete. This can result in mom pushing in her own power without the fetal ejection reflex and lead to purple pushing. Purple pushing is when mom is coached to push by holding her breath and bearing down as hard as she can for as long as she can, usually for 10 seconds at a time. This can lead to the face turning purple from the lack of oxygen that mom is getting, thus purple pushing. Plus, if mom pushes like this long enough, blood vessels in the eyes and the face actually pop, resulting in tiny bruises and bloodshot eyes. So what is the problem with this kind of pushing? Number one, it's not mother-led. Mothers do not choose to purple push because it's not intuitive. It's a provider-centered approach to birthing, and birth, as much as possible, needs to be mother-centered for it to be an empowering experience. Number two, it deprives mom of oxygen and baby of oxygen. Mom's breath is baby's breath, and if she is lacking oxygen, so is her baby, and that puts things in a dangerous situation. Number three, purple pushing is more likely to cause pelvic floor trauma because of all the force behind the pushes. Number four, it's not very effective because mom is relying on her own strength at the end of a tiring, maybe long labor instead of waiting till her body takes over and helps her using the fetal ejection reflex. And number five, it's exhausting because it often results in mom pushing longer than she would have needed to if she were to have waited till she felt her body's own urges. So now we know what purple pushing is, but how can you avoid it? Number one, avoid unnecessary interventions like cervical exams and epidurals. There is a time and place for both of those interventions. So if they are necessary, learn how to work with them to keep labor as natural and normal as possible. And I teach you that in the Built to Birth course. Number two, birth in an upright position. On your back essentially means that you are birthing uphill. And I explain that in my free mini birth class, which is linked up here in the corner of this video and right in the description below as well. Birthing upright not only helps you utilize gravity for birth, but is more empowering than birthing on your back, which will add to your confidence of listening to your body and choosing what works best for you and your baby. Number three, learn how to breathe in labor, including pushing. I teach you this in a video right here on YouTube, which is linked up here in the corner. And number four, have an advocate, someone who knows your preferences and is willing to step in and speak up on your behalf if you have a provider suggesting something that that might not be necessary nor what you want for your labor. All right, that wraps up this video on purple pushing. The Built to Birth program is linked right here on the screen for you to check out for yourself to get started on your informed and empowered birth. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.